Hi, my name is Rachel from the Grace-Filled Home. I am a wife and a mother to 4 kids, ages 9 to currently pregnant. My goal for this channel is to teach women to find peace and joy in their homes and in their family, and just to live for today. My grandma is really the inspiration to this channel. She actually passed away in March, but her home was always this place of just rescue. If you needed to just find a break, if you needed understanding, her home was just a relaxing place to be. There was no pressure. There was always food to eat. There was always somewhere to rest your head on. Whether you were family or you weren't, that is just the legacy that she lived. And when I went home for her memorial, I realized that even though her house was still beautiful, it wasn't the same. And I realized quickly that it was because she was missing. And as women, the way that our homes feel, it's dictated by you. Whether you stay home or you're working outside of the home, if you are anxious and you are depressed, your home, it's going to show that. If your home is in chaos, if your heart is, your home is going to be in chaos. But if you are trusting Christ and you are finding joy in your day-to-day activities and you are just being thankful for what you have and you are loving on your family, I promise your home is going to be a place that other people want to go to. And what more can we ask for, right? And so my goal is to just help teach other women as I'm going through this journey on my own of how can we find this peace? How can we make our home a place that other people want to go to? So hang tight with me and we'll get to the first step. Okay, so in my own journey of trying to figure out how do we have a home that's just filled with peace, I realized that my grandma's Bibles are filled with notes. Every morning when we would visit, you could count on my grandma being awake at 5 a.m. studying God's Word. And I remember having a conversation with her a few years back and saying, I'm so tired and I have babies, and her saying, well, yeah, I didn't really get into, doing daily devotionals until my kids were sleeping through the night. And so for years, I just let that be my excuse. Like, okay, one day I'm going to be able to do this, but right now in my life, I can't. But when she passed away, I realized that she had left a beautiful legacy for us. And I knew how to study God's Word because I had watched her. And I didn't want that to be my excuse anymore. So I kind of took it as challenge accepted, Grandma. I can do it with babies. And for whatever reason, my youngest one wakes me up every single morning at 5 a.m. Everyone else really doesn't wake up till 6, which means I have an entire hour with just the baby, and I can usually keep him entertained. So I've had to become creative in how I've done it, as can anybody. So the way that I do my devotional right now is I read a chapter or even just a few verses in the Bible, and I actually have an app called Grace to You, which is John MacArthur's app. And he has a sermon on basically every single chapter and verse in the Bible. And so I'm able to go through and I listen to one of his sermons. And sometimes I don't finish his sermon until the end of the day because I have to pause and rewind so many times. But it helps my day go by so much better too when I'm listening to it, when I'm doing laundry. It's just like when my mind can go somewhere other than the daily, time-consuming tasks. It really makes it more enjoyable. I'm learning. My kids see that. It's giving me a change in my own heart. And so I also encourage you, though, even if you're listening to a devotional, still have a Bible that you are tracking what you're learning. It's not just for you, even though it's good for you to look back and see the growth that you've made. It's also a legacy. Like I said, my grandma has Bibles filled with her notes. And what better way just to show your generations what Christ was teaching you. So I do encourage you that even if you're listening to a podcast, still get a Bible, write down what you've learned that day, write down the date. It really helps it sink in too. So those are my encouragements. The first step to having a grace-filled home is the whole thing is going to be you. But if you are focused on you, or you're focused on the negative things in your days, your house is not going to be filled with grace. It's not going to be filled with peace. But if you focus in on God and that's how you start your day, no matter how difficult it is to get started, I promise at first it was a challenge. I had to make myself read the verse, turn on the podcast. I was tired. I just wanted to go back to bed, but that wasn't an option anyways. And so now I look forward to it. I'm excited about what am I going to learn today? Like, it's been a blessing, and I hope that it will be to you too. So the first step in having a peace-filled home is focusing on your relationship with Christ. If you're not a believer, I promise there's plenty of things that you can learn from the Bible. So whether you want to start with the Gospels and read through that way, John is a great place to start. If you're just looking for tidbits of inspiration, if you're having a hard time in life, go to Psalms. Like I said, even if you are not a believer, I challenge you to pick up the Bible, go to Psalms, and read one chapter a day. You could even read Proverbs if you're just wanting a way to show that, like, good things to do with life. Like, I am telling you, like, Proverbs has guidance and direction, and it will change your life. It will transform your life, but just start there. So I'm not undermining the power of the Bible. I'm just telling you, if you get into it, it will speak to you, I promise. Thanks for joining me today. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and if you can hit the like button, that would mean so much to me. In the comments below too, please write down if you've been successful in doing a daily devotional. What does it look like? Are you going through a book of the Bible? What kind of study materials are you using? I would love to know, and I'd love to hear all of your feedback. All right, have a great day.